Are you ready to film a Q&A?
Hey guys! So guess what we're finally doing that I've been putting off forever because I didn't want to get on camera because I'm shy. We're finally doing the Q&A! So I got my questions here on my laptop. I got my coffee. Let's get going. Who is your favorite female and male character from Heroes of Olympus? My favorite female character is definitely Piper. I just found her to be really relatable and I really love her character arc over the 5 books. She really grew a lot and really came into herself and realized her self-worth a lot, which I really relate to. My favorite male character is definitely Frank Zhang. I love Frank. He's so sweet and unsure of himself, and even by the end of the series, after he grows so much in House of Hades, he still has this inherent shyness about him, which I just think is really, really sweet. Frank deserves so much more recognition in this fandom than he gets, and he's great. What is your Hogwarts house? My Hogwarts house is Hufflepuff, which I'm sure you probably could have guessed by my awkward nature. But hey, Hufflepuff is not worst house, okay? Hufflepuff is best house, in my opinion. We are good finders, we are loyal, we can make friends with anybody, okay? I don't care if you're a Slytherin, a Ravenclaw, a Gryffindor, I don't care. I will be your friend, because we're good at finding. And you know what we find? Good friends that we are loyal to. Slytherin. Yeah, Hufflepuff is best house. Fight me. What are your favorite fandom series outside of Percy Jackson, and who is your favorite character? You can't say Percy Jackson. Well, to get this out of the way, Percy Jackson. Percy is my favorite. I even have a Percy mug here. Coffee. Anyways, my favorite fandoms, let's say not literature, because I like a lot of different books, and it would be really, really easy right now just to say Harry Potter since we just talked about that. My favorite fandoms are probably in the anime community. My favorite anime of all time is Digimon, and my favorite character from that is Kanda. I love him a lot. But also, I love Digimon. I got a little Alan Walker here. He's cute. Look at him. He's a little cute piece of crap. Outside of Digimon, it's probably Madoka Magica. I think it was just a really great magical girl show that kind of pushed a lot of boundaries of what we expected. It was so cutesy and light, and then just slaps you in the face in episode 3. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it so I don't spoil anything for you. But I think they just did a really, really wonderful job with Madoka Magica. It was not what any of us expected, and it was great. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. Who's your favorite ship in the whole fandom? This is not a really common answer, and you guys are probably expecting me to say Percybeth. I love Percybeth. They are great and wonderful and beautiful. But my favorite ship in the whole fandom has to be Sally and Paul. They have just this wonderful, beautiful, natural relationship that Sally so deserves. Can we just talk about that for a sec? Sally went through years of abuse from Gabe. She dealt with a crappy uncle who didn't care about her, and then she had to use all her money to look after him. Her parents died in a freaking plane crash, but she wound up having a beautiful child in Percy, and she found Paul, who just knows how to connect with her. They have this wonderful connection over literature, and they just have this great common ground, and I love them so much. They are kind of the embodiment of like a real adult relationship, and it's beautiful. And I'm really, really happy that they're having a kid together, and I can't wait until Ship of the Dead in the Magnus Chase series, because we get to find out what Percy's little sister's name is gonna be, and I just, I can't. I love it. I love these characters so much. And Sally and Paul, best ship. Best ship. But I do love Percybeth. They are pretty great too. My favorite ships after Sally and Paul are probably Hazel and Frank, because they're just so sweet and pure, and I love them. And then this one is probably gonna get me a lot of flack, but I love Piper and Jason. They get a lot of flack, but I'm gonna make a video about that probably later this week, because I need to vent about that, because they deserve more credit. Next question, who is your favorite character in PJO and Heroes of Olympus? So I've already said Piper and Frank. So I'm gonna say my really unpopular opinion of favorite character. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this one and I'm gonna lose a lot of subs, but it's Octavian. Octavian is probably one of my favorite characters in the entire Percy Jackson series. He's such a piece of trash and I love him. I will admit, I had such a fangirl crush on him for the longest time. I like my trash boys, okay? Octavian is trash. He's complete and utter trash. And he's a terrible person. And I'll admit, he got what he deserved. He had it coming. But I love Octavian. And you cannot yell at me for thinking that he's gorgeous anymore. Because yes, his official art, he was not a beautiful person. But can we just talk about how great he looks in Viria's art? Yeah, Viria, you're making this really hard for me. But your art's great. What is your #1 favorite of Rick's books? I haven't read every single one of Rick's books, I will admit that. Since we're talking Percy Jackson here, I'm gonna say my favorite of the first series is probably Battle of the Labyrinth because I really like the character arcs that we got. We got to see a different side of Annabeth. We got to see her being a little more aggressively jealous and we got to see that side of her, and then we got to meet Rachel and get to know her a lot better, and we got to see Percy's powers sort of growing and evolving. There was so many, I loved the cast of characters in that book. Quintus, or Daedalus, was really great and I cried at the end when he died. This book's been out for frickin' ever, so you can't yell at me for spoilers. You're watching this Percy Jackson channel, you know what you're getting into. Words. Heroes of Olympus, my favorite book is probably Blood of Olympus. I really loved seeing all the characters at like the height of their powers and really just going all out. I loved reading about the giants and kind of getting to know them as characters. I really love how Rick characterized all the giants and how he didn't make them just one-note brutish characters. They each had a personality. That's something I really appreciate about Rick's books because everyone just is so distinct and you can tell who's talking just by how the dialogue is written. And it's so great. Of the Magnus Chase books that are out right now, because those are also Rick's books and that's part of the question, I loved Thor's Hammer. Oh my god, it was so good. For those of you who have read it, you can keep watching. For those of you who haven't, you might want to skip ahead. I'll put a little time code for where to skip ahead, because I don't want to spoil anything. But let's talk about Alex Fierro for a second. They are amazing. I love them so much. They are so unique, and I love that Rick is bringing in non-binary characters or gender fluid characters, however you want to describe them, because he describes it in multiple ways in the book. But the climax of that book was so good. I was laying in bed reading it and my toes were like curling when like Loki's slowly getting freed from his prison. It was so good. It was just so good. And I love it. That is one of my favorite Rick Riordan books. I think that one tops this list. I think Thor's Hammer is like the top of my list. It's just so good. I'm so weird. If you could have any power from any character in the Percy Jackson series, who would it be? It would be Will Solace. Hands down, no question. Because Will has a power that I would really love to have. I love to help people, and Will has the power of healing. Like, yes, he has abilities of archery and music, but he's such a wonderful healer, and Will as a character is just really great. He's kind of awkward and dorky, but he's so heartfelt and clearly loves that he has the ability to heal. I've grown up with natural medicines, and I would really love to be able to help people more, because being able to help my friends is something that means the world to me, and that's something that I really love. So Will's power over healing would be my answer for that. Next question, how long have you been voice acting for, and do you have any recommendations for people who want to get into voice acting? Okay, so I have been voice acting for 8-ish years, give or take, if you count my really amateur years where I wasn't very good at all. I started when I was 12 years old, and I'm 21 now, so there's that. I really got into it around 15 or so when I started getting a lot more roles. I was taking more acting classes, and at 17 I got cast as Kiana in Honey Pop. That was my first big character, and it really sparked that, holy crap, this is what I need to do because this game was so much fun. Yes, it is 18 plus, so if you are not over 18, please don't go play that game. I'm now doing professional work in Vancouver. I do a lot of ADR, which is dubbing, so like making things into English that weren't in English before. I've done a lot of narration for documentaries, and it's fun. So yeah, been doing voice acting for 8 years, and my recommendations for anyone who wants to get into this business, and it is that. It is a business, and you need to be prepared for that. If you want to do it on just an amateur online level, that's totally fine. But you do need to remember that this is a business and you need to be professional. Recommendations is take as many acting classes as you possibly can. If you're still in school, use that to your advantage. Get involved in the theater, get involved in drama classes. If you're not in school, go to your community theater, start auditioning for stuff, find stuff online and start practicing. Read scripts out loud to yourself. Just find a book. I have tons of books right here. Just find a book and start reading out loud. Record yourself. Get used to how you sound, because if you're in the booth, got your headphones on, you're going to hear yourself. There's going to be a monitor and you'll be hearing yourself. So you need to get used to that. You need to not be like, oh God, is that what I sound like? You can't do that in the booth. So yeah, take acting classes, record yourself, read out loud, get good at reading out loud, because that is the whole thing of this business. Acting is the number one though. How many pets do you have? I have 2 pets. I have my dog Kiko, I'll put a little picture of right there, and I have my cat Apollo, who I put at the beginning of this video because I love him. I named him Apollo, yes, after the god Apollo. His full name is Apollo Oliver because I wanted to name him Apollo, but my boyfriend, Keggy Films, wanted to name him Oliver after the character Oliver from Oliver and Company, the Disney movie. What's your favorite song from the Percy Jackson musical? My favorite song is easily Another Terrible Day, which is Mr. D's song. It was so good on stage, and it's just a really fun song, and I love having all the other characters come in. It's really fun and kind of wacky and totally encapsulates Mr. D. While in the books, he's got a little bit more party dude, chill. But on stage, he's just big and angry, and I love it. George Salazar did such a brilliant job as that character. Like, he was Grover, but he was also Mr. D. I love his embodiment of Grover, but his Mr. D is 10 out of 10. Amazing. Since you brought it up, what's your least favorite tooth, and why was that an example? Well, I stole that question from my favorite podcast, That Anime Show, which was run by my friend Terry Doty and her friend J. Michael Tatum, and they would have guests on, and there was an episode with Ian Sinclair where they were asking him weird random questions, one of which was, what's your least favorite tooth? So I stole that, because, yeah. Also, my least favorite tooth is my front eye tooth because it died and shattered. Could you do a cover of Good Kid in a female voice? Why, yes I can, because I do have a female voice. But also, it is on my list of things to do. I just need to figure out how to change the key a little bit up so it's more in my range, and also I need to get instrumentals of it. But once I have that done, I will definitely do it, and I will do a cover of My Grand Plan. Again, need instrumentals for it. But those are on my list, and they will get done at some point, I promise. I'm very shy about singing, so, Okay, so these next couple questions are all from my sister Shay, because she sometimes helps me film, and she's not here today. But anyways, these are all from my sister. Why don't you make me coffee? Well, because you don't live here and you don't pay me to do it. I'm a professional barista, Shay. I expect payment. Why didn't you name your cat Shay instead of Apollo? Well, my cat is very godly, much like the god he is named for. Are you a god, Shay? Don't answer that. Why is your sister so great? 'Cause she's related to me. Plain and simple. Who's your favorite sibling? Some dork named Shay. What's your favorite YouTube channel to voice act for? My favorite YouTube channel to voice act for is my friend Bradley's channel. I'll put a link right there. Brad is like my big brother, even though he's only a couple years older than me. We've been voice acting together since like the beginning of our careers, basically. and we've known each other for so long. He's like my big brother, and what I love about voice acting for him is he lets me stretch my range in a lot of ways. He's had me play everything from little boys. I played Black Star and his Soul Eater Bridge Soul Cheater. I've played brutish girls. I played cutesy little girls. I played like little boys. It's really fun, and he knows my range so well that he's like, okay, can I get you to do this? I'll get you to do this. And it's really fun. And he's also doing some audio editing for an upcoming thing that we're working on the channel that I think you're gonna like. Ha! Saddest Percy Jackson death. Selena Beauregard. I want to do a video about her at some point. But Selena's death was so freaking noble and beautiful and really sad, and I totally cry every time I read that chapter. But Selena for sure. Selena's great. If you could have any animal from Percy Jackson, who would it be? Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson. Anyway, if you could have any animal from Percy Jackson, who would it be? It would be Mrs. O'Leary, because she's adorable, and who doesn't want just a giant black mastiff? Come on. I love dogs. I want a dog when I move out. I'm moving to Texas really soon. I am getting another cat, but I want a dog. I want a corgi really bad. They're really cute and they have adorable butts. I like corgi. Have you read any other mythology-based books that Rick Riordan has written? Yes, I have read the Kane Chronicles, or I've read the first 2 books of that. I am about to start the 3rd one after I finish the second Trials of Apollo book, and I've read the Magnus Chase book. I've yet to read the Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, Percy Jackson Greek Heroes. I really want to read those, but it's a matter of I don't have money for them right now. But yes, I've read those, but I'm also reading the Iliad right now. I just started it and it's so good. I love classical mythology. The Percy Jackson series is the reason I started studying it. It's the reason I traveled to Italy. So yeah, I'm reading the Iliad, but I've also read those other books that I mentioned before. Top 3 gods from Percy Jackson: Apollo, Hephaestus, and Mars. Yes, I said Mars and not Ares. I just really like the way Mars was characterized in the Heroes of Olympus series. He was a lot more stable, and just the brutish thing that Ares has going for him didn't work for me. I don't have a problem with the way he's written. He just wasn't one of my favorite characters. Apollo, I just thought he was really funny in Titan's Curse. He was a really enjoyable character, and now getting to revisit him in Blood of Olympus, and then, was it Blood of Olympus or House of Hades? Crap! I can't remember who. No, it was Blood of Olympus, because I just listened to it. I'm good at keeping track of which book is which. And now I'm reading Trials of Apollo. So, I really love this character. I named my cat after Apollo. And I like Hephaestus because he's really underrated, but he's clearly, out of all the dads, out of all the godly parents, not just the dads, but I'm talking about male gods here, he clearly cares so much about his children, and I think that's really great. He's kind of like shy and awkward, and I just really love the way he's characterized. He makes my heart happy. I think he's a really good character, and I love the way that Rick has written him. Which song do you think describes Percy Jackson the best? Well, I'm gonna say this is kind of a cop-out, because I listen to kind of weird music. I mostly listen to musicals, so I'm gonna say it's the first song in the Percy Jackson musical soundtrack that describes it the best, because it is about Percy Jackson, so I'm gonna go with that. It's totally a cop-out, but whatever. On a scale of 1 to 10, how awkward are you? You tell me. Potato. Potato out of 10. Yeah, let's go with that. Do you have every Rick Riordan book? Nope, I sure don't. But I'm working on getting every single one. I really want to read some of the first books he put out, which were like the murder mystery books that were adult. And I really want to read those. Because I want to read a book where Rick Riordan cusses. That's my reasoning. Anyways, guys, that is the Q&A. But as I promised in the update video, I would show you my tattoos a little bit. On this arm, I have Never Stop, Keep Walking. And on this arm, I have my SPQR tattoo. I have the Lyre of Apollo with the SPQR underneath. And I got that done in Venice. This is my favorite tattoo that I have, because I got it done in Venice, Italy on my last day there, the day after my birthday. So it means a lot to me, and it's not just a Percy Jackson fangirl tattoo for me. It means so much more than that. It represents the big trip that I went on, my first trip that I took alone. I went to Italy by myself at age 20, and that was really big for me. That was a really important trip for me. So that's my favorite tattoo. And yeah, that's it guys. I will have more videos coming to you guys this week. I'm trying to do one video every day this week to see how I feel and just, you know, weigh my options and see how it goes. But anyways, I love you guys so much and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Mwah!